All right, and welcome to today's Cosmology segment. Before we get on with it, I'd like to thank our patrons, the true source of funding for the content. Please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/smashamash. Patrons are listed in order of lifetime contribution, total lifetime contribution, that is. Thanks to our patrons, the true source of funding for the content, as we make just this side of nothing for putting out the videos on YouTube. The algorithms seem to make sure of that. So in any case, congratulations on finding our channel. Welcome to today's Cosmology segment. Thanks again, patrons. Consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/smashamash. Here comes a Cosmology segment, during which we'll be talking about Cosmic Ray Report, that is the current data, also IC 4592 and AU Microscopii. Let's get to it. So first, it's IC 4592. It's like a subnebula of the Horsehead Nebula, very famous, the Horsehead Nebula. This is the NASA astronomy picture of the day. You can go find it yourself if you like at apod.nasa.gov. Nebular cloud, IC 4592. Now, one of those bright stars in there is the eye of the horse in the Horsehead Nebula. However, when we look at these sort of things under different emission spectra, they look very different. So this one's toward Orion. This molecular cloud complex is a reflection nebula, again known as IC 4592. And reflection nebulas are usually made up of very fine dust. Anyway, that image from Adam Block at the University of Arizona. Cheers. Great imagery there of IC 4592, the reflection nebula, associated with the Horsehead Nebula. Next, Cosmic Ray Report. Since cosmic rays appear to affect weather and who knows what else on planet Earth, we'd like to cover it at least once or twice per week. Here is the breakdown of our favorite 7 cosmic ray monitors. Apatity, over the past 30 days, a slight downward trend there. Barentsburg, a slight upward trend, and we've been seeing this regularly, an indication that the cosmic ray profile of different parts of the planet are indeed different. Let's go farther south to Athens, Greece. And there is the Athens neutron monitor. A bit of a downward trend there over the past 30 days as a result of this little spike happening here back in early June. Next, we'll go even farther south to Mexico City. And you can see a bit of a downward trend there at Mexico City as well over the past 30 days. By the way, you can access the historical data from this one, if you like, as well. It will show you that the highest cosmic ray flux ever measured on planet Earth was around 2009 and 2010, just like the Oulu monitor. Let's go back up north to Oulu. And there you can see over the past 30 days, quite flat at Oulu. And let's go as far south as we can get to Antarctica. There's DOMB. Significant downward trend at DOMB over the past 30. And a similar, although less extreme, downward trend at DOMC Antarctica. Let's talk about random numbers. Today's random object is AU Microscopii, which is a very interesting small star located only about 32 light years away, about 4 times the distance to Alpha Centauri. And this is believed to be a young star. It is a red dwarf. It's not visible with the naked eye. It does appear to be a planetary nebula, gravitationally bound to a binary star system. And this one is variable in the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So whether it's X-ray frequency or radio or UV, AU Microscopii is quite variable in all of those. It also has a debris disk. And I'm just going to let the Wikipedia article scroll here so you can read it if you like. Check it out. It's a short time-lapse sequence. Let's give that a minute. There's a little animation of the debris disk. And this is believed to have a planetary component as well. You can see a bunch of material. Look, and of course, we're looking at the size of Neptune's orbit here, so this is a quite well zoomed in bit of imagery here from the Hubble Space Telescope of AU Microscopii. And again, I'm just going to let this scroll all the way down here. By the way, here's the exoplanet.eu listing for it, as it appears to have, it must have at least 2, as it's showing this planet as Mike B. So yes, 2 planets here. And here's some imagery of AU Microscopii. That's the DSS. Let's show it in some more wavelengths here. Here it is in infrared. This is the 2 mass. Great imagery there in infrared light. And let's move up the spectrum. Here it is in UV from the Galix. And you see completely different features there in ultraviolet. And we'll also take a look at it in X-ray. There's a partial image of its X-ray spectra. It's today's featured random, quote, random and quote object. It's entry number 954 at the Neil Gorell's Swift Bat X-ray Observatory. There are the X-ray emissions over the past 16 years and the past 30 days from AU Microscopii. And if you want to look up your favorite objects at the Neil Gorell's, just type in the Neil Gorell Swift Bat allow me to speak English. The Neil Gorell Swift Observatory, just type that, do a search for that. And again, that's number 954. Let's take a quick look at Cygnus X3, since we talk about it regularly on the channel. One of the only known cosmic ray point sources is still in an X-ray quiescent state, as you can see here, very close to the 0 line. On the 30-day chart, which brings us all the way down to there. It's an ultra-quiescent X-ray state, and we would love to see this object studied in radio frequency, in that it is one of the more interesting objects in the entire galaxy. It could be the most intrinsically luminous object. It's jumping up and down saying, hey everybody, look at me, look at me. And some of us are actually doing so. Anyway, that's today's Cosmology segment. Thanks for tuning in. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted. Name and news.